All right, Shalom, Akim, Shalom. First thing and foremost, I'd like to give all praises and glory and honor that's due to Yahweh, Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai, Ba'ashem Rakakadash. Double honors to the apostles and elders of Great Millstone. Peace and blessings and salutations to the hopeful elect. Noise in the gospel brought living to the standard of Yahweh, Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai. Wherever it may be. This is just this is just in transit through the spirit. Just listen to different shows and just through the spirit. Kind of wanted to put this out there. News and prophecy as usual. Like the men of the Lord, we're compelled to teach prophecy. Okay? Give me 1 second. Fuck. Yep, but we're commanded to go into prophecy as the scriptures tell us, man. Okay, speak down in the ears of my people the words of prophecy, which I should put in the book. Alright, so the title of this lesson is titled or called, What Will You People Do Once the Dollar Collapse and Pandemonium Hits the Streets of America, aka Babylon the Great? Okay, what would you do? Because this is a prime example right now. You see these people are made a habit out of panhandling. Okay, and these are people with regular 9-to-5 jobs at times, but yet they come to the corner and they panhandle because they're looking for handouts. But it's going to be a point of time that people aren't going to be able to do that because people are scrambling for chips as we speak. Because, hey, you look up the whole fortune of the Atlanta businesses, the 300,000 so-called businesses that you Jakes own down in Atlanta. Okay, which you always had prominent Jake business owners. Okay, I know a couple of them. My father was actually an entrepreneur, had his own stuff, and better times, should I say. But a lot of Jakes, man, they feel like they're doing okay because they have their own business, they have their own livelihoods, they have the licenses and so forth. Even myself, I have a couple credentials under my belt that I can really utilize to generate a cash flow. But even then, things are so offset with the way that the economy is going. It's really hard to really get a stronghold in the society. Like I currently, well, it's not even important, but Jake, like I got an uncle, him and his wife, they got like this rig, they own their own rig company, and he's been driving trucks since the early 2000s, probably late 90s, early 2000s, and yet, gas prices, especially diesel, is getting ready to hit $10 a gallon. So with that being said, he may have a lucrative business, but he's gonna lose more money than what he's gonna make because the dollar is falling, okay? And that's the same thing to every last one of you people in America, mainly you Jakes, that seem to think that you have some type of longevity here in America, in which you don't, okay? You so-called Negro, Hispanic, and Native American, man, you're getting ready to lose everything that you once owned, okay? We all are, all right? Because, Klaus Schwab, I'm gonna quote it again, for the Great Economic Forum, hey, you will own nothing and be happy about it. Because I was looking at this little clip today, this little brochure, and they were talking about basically the food prices are going to get so high to the point people are going to be forced to close businesses. They're going to be forced to foreclose on homes because they're going to need enough money just to sustain their bellies. Okay, so the price of the dollar is collapsing, but the price of goods are going up because the whole concept of supply and demand. Okay, you don't have the supply, but the demand for it is very great. Therefore, the dollar losing purchasing power. All right. But with that being said, what happens when a dollar collapses? If we was to have a dollar collapse tomorrow, what would you people do? Okay. What would you Israelites do? First thing you would do, you'd run to the bank, you call customer service, but you ain't gonna be able to get no money out the bank when the dollar collapses. Why? Because they're gonna freeze everything. They're gonna freeze assets. Okay. They're gonna freeze accounts, wallets, etc., escrow accounts, equity accounts. It's going to be a shit show, man. So therefore, what are you going to do? Okay? Are you going to take are you going to hope for a better day? Do you think that things are going to subside and things are going to go back to some form of normalcy? Or are you going to take the MOTB? Because majority of you will result to the MOTB. Okay? Because you can't let go of your lifestyle here in America. And on top of that, you don't know any other way. Okay? You don't know any other way in order to survive outside of Esau's benefits that he's giving you. Because according to Isaiah the 19th chapter, hey, the scripture said there should be no work for Egypt, neither the head or tail, wrench or brush may do. Okay? So once the work runs out, once the dollar collapses, there ain't gonna be any more hope for people, man. Okay, because people are gonna resort to violence. They're gonna resort to stealing, killing, robbing, and looting, man. Okay, like right now, you got a shortage on baby formula right now. Okay, and you got Black, Hispanic, and Native American women, and even certain Edomite women that's going into a frenzy. Okay, because mainly you Black and Hispanic women, you don't like to breastfeed because you're just completely narcissistic and you're overly infatuated with your body. So therefore, you would deprive the baby of its food and nutrients before you put it on a titty. Oh, well, I don't want my titties to get smaller. Well, like we said, man, it's proof that breastfeeding tightens up the twat, man. Okay, the cervix, it tightens up the box. Those of you women out there that didn't know that, you breastfeed, it automatically makes the cooch tighter, man. And you can look it up. All right, but nonetheless, you know, all hell is getting ready to break loose in America. So, you know, our jobs will be holding just temporary. Our apartments, our vehicles, our licenses and so forth. Like myself, I have a license, I could drive trucks, I could drive commercial vehicles, which is good money in that. But sooner than later, that license ain't gonna mean shit. Why? Because, hey, you're gonna need the MOTB in order to even do that. And on top of that, the dollar is collapsing. You know, and that's gonna be the new currency to replace everything, the MOTB. This is why they're talking about CDBCs or crypto-based digital currencies, which is CBDC. Okay, and that's where all these other nations, these countries, they're all up in smoke trying to go and converge over to this digital currency. Why? Because this is the MOTB systems linking up. But before they bring that, they're going to bring all hell to the streets of America by starving you out of resources, by closing your businesses, man. Because when you need money to feed your food, you mean your family, you know, your family, your wife, your children, and you run a business, you're not going to be able to run that business because, like I said earlier, the price of getting food is getting higher. Inflation, soon to be hyperinflation. And what we're experiencing now is levels of high inflation. You know, like today is Tuesday. You know, you got certain restaurant deals. You used to be able to go to certain, like it's this particular place I used to go to right before the pandemic hit and during the beginning of the pandemic. It was a place called Hy-Vee Market Grill. Good food, good prices, man. They had good prices, good deals. They had breakfast deals, $5-6 for a nice, fulfilling breakfast of good quality food, so to speak. But when the pandemic grew up into what, 2020, 2021, they had to delete certain particular items off the menu. Why? Because they couldn't afford to hold them anymore. And on top of that, the demand for them wasn't really there. So therefore, they had to cut certain things because on top of that, they didn't have the certain product or the certain beefs and turkeys in order to sell that product anymore. Like they had this dish called tachos. Tachos was basically like a tater tot casserole, but in the form of a taco, so to speak. It's basically like nachos with tater tots. Pretty good, you know what I'm saying? I mean, honestly, if you got that, that probably can last you into dinner. If not, you know, depending on your metabolism, but I'll get that, I'm gonna say around lunchtime, I eat that, and that shit'll last me damn near the whole day. To the point I won't have to eat again until the next day. Pretty fulfilling, but they don't have that anymore. They don't sell it anymore. Okay, prime example, gas prices now. All right, you go to certain areas, like I'm in Missouri. Gas has never been as expensive since I've been here. The most I've paid for gas was $3 and some change. Now we're paying damn near $4, man. You know, and that's gonna continue to commence because they said by mid summertime, early fall, we're gonna start seeing more shortages. We're gonna start seeing more inflation. Okay, more hope in global products. You know, which is gonna eventually lead to world war. Okay, through famine and economic downturn. Okay, that's what eventually is gonna boil over to. You know, so what are you people gonna do when that day come? What are you women gonna do? What are you Jake men are gonna do? Because you Jakes, man, starting with you men first, you seen the thing all because you got a Hellcat or you run some little clothing business, which I'm not knocking you, you know. I mean, you know, do what you gotta do to get your money. You know what I'm saying? Because you know, shit, what else are we gonna do? You know, whether you work a 9-to-5 job, still consider grinding and hustling. You know, you working a job, you're bringing in a ducats every week, but eventually that shit is gonna run dry. But what you gonna do, man, when you can't drive that car no more, or when you can't afford that nice apartment that you've been living off of, man? Because, you know, like in Atlanta, man, them Jakes are very proud because Atlanta is a predominantly Jake-based city. You see, Jake is hella proud down there. Jake owned a couple of barbershops, restaurants, you know, liquor stores, laundromats, you know, properties and real estate, all these things, man. You know, Jake doing pretty good. But after a while, they're not going to be able to afford that. So what happens? It goes into foreclosure. The government comes and confiscates it, and then before you know it, you're in debt. And debt drives people to suicide, especially you Edomites, man. Because this is a debt-based system, a credit-based system. Credit is debt-based, so to speak. The dollar a debt note, so that's the reason why you have a continuing bill every month, because it's a debt note and it's not designed to get you a particular product or a commodity, man. Like, let's just say if you had money that had worth if you had money that was being backed by silver and gold or some type of precious metal, you can buy certain shit that you won't have to have a reoccurring charge. Okay, for example, if you had enough money in cattle and livestock, you can invest in land and property, and that would be that, and it would be yours, and you can do whatever you want. But because you're dealing with a debt-based currency, a dollar, so to speak, with no particular money or any substance backing it outside of oil, now you have a reoccurring or recurring charge. It's the reason why you pay rent every month, the reason why you pay a cell phone bill, the reason why you're paying for groceries every single month, because the money or the dollar is not in itself powerful enough to just buy a commodity, but instead it's going to be reoccurring. I hate when people do this stupid shit, man. So when that runs out, you people are in big trouble, man, because hey, you're going to result to your governments, you're going to result to looting, robbing, okay, murder. Women are going to be getting raped left and right, because believe it or not, this society, it's a lot of women doing fairly decent in this society, man. You got women that's doing better than Jake as a collector, because for one thing, it's set up for the woman to do good. Okay, the society is geared towards women. They're comfortable. That's why you got the chain stores here. You got the drug food store there. You got the grocery store there. Everything is set up for the convenience of women, man, because women are actually like the biggest consumers. Because spending is psychological. When a woman is going through depression, she likes to spend money. Okay, she has a spending high. Okay, Esau knows that, so he's played on the psychology of that. Okay, which a lot of you women don't know that. Same thing. Why it's called metropolis. Metropolis means mother city. What? And mother is the feminine's. The feminine aspect of this society, man. It's based on comfortability. That's why you got Ubers. That's why you got delivery services, man. Okay, but you women, you're gonna be affected greatly through this, because you are doing pretty well. Like I said, it's set up for you to do so. Esau has laid the pavement for you to go out there and get it. It's easier for you to get licenses. You're more susceptible to get it because you're a woman. It's easier for you to get jobs because you have a certain type of voice. Okay, you got a cooch and a pair of titties on your chest. So off the bat, you're gonna get more opportunities versus a rough Jake. You know what I'm saying? You're gonna get better apartments. You're gonna get better credit situations, man. You're gonna get approved for loans a lot better than what the Negro male will. Why? Because this society is set up for your benefit, man. It ain't because you're better, you're smarter, you're a harder worker, or you got it out of the mud. Nah, man. And you may genuinely work hard, but overall, you don't have to work twice as hard as we do. And a lot of women know that, but see, they like to string that shit over Jake's head. So therefore, you're gonna be the ones that's gonna suffer greatly behind this coming depression, man. Okay, because we are more in the depression. This guy, Creepy Jim Crow Joe, talking about, oh well, we're gonna see recession levels in another year. Nah, motherfucker, we're seeing recession levels now, man. Okay, we're in a fucking depression, man. So at the end of the day, you people are getting ready to lose it, man. And majority of you, starting with you Israelite women, majority of you are gonna result to taking an MOTB. Okay, I don't care how much mental fortitude you think you have, how much fight you have in you. Sooner than later, Esau gonna push the right buttons, and then, hey, you gonna accept that MOTB. Why? Because the Most High is not dealing. Okay, so that's just the whole point. All right. So anyway, if a brother on the comment board, Baba Kusha, can put Isaiah 19, starting like verses 12. All right, get the book of Isaiah, the 19th chapter. I wanted to bring out a couple of precepts, and it's in transit. Also, Isaiah, the 7th chapter, 25th verse is a good precept too. Okay, I believe it's one in Ezekiel, the 14th chapter, if I'm not mistaken. All right, but nonetheless, man, when the dollar collapses, a lot of people are gonna they're gonna lose it, because they put their money and they put their investment in this monetary system. You know what I'm saying? They put it in the faith of the society, in their jobs, in their careers, and their licenses, in their vehicles, in their livelihoods, because Jake like to splurge, man. Jake like to go to the club and blow $1,000, blow a stack, blow a rack, whatever you want to call it, bow at the bar, you know what I'm saying, and do the shit again every week, man. You'd be surprised on how much money Jake consume on straight folly, instead of necessities. But regardless of that, Jake ain't ready, man. They're not prepared for what's coming. You see? Because through the spirit and power Yahweh Shem Yahushai, they ain't been, they're blinded to the fact. They're not enlightened. Okay? Though we're telling them, we're breaking it down week in and week out, Jake is not convinced in that mindset. Why? Because, hey, they haven't really been afflicted yet. You know? But anyway, man, brother ain't text that scripture, so it's all good. But I'm gonna end it there, man. Lord's will, I'll get back with you brothers with another lesson. Shalom, giving all praises and glory and honor that's due to Yahweh by Shem Yahushai, by Shem Rakakwadash, double honors to the apostles, elders, a great millstone, blessings and salutations to the whole elect, you know. And with that, shalom. And another thing too, just another note, a lot of you people gonna resort over to cannibalism. A lot of you single mothers, when you realize that you don't have the means to make ends meet, you will eat your children. That's in the scriptures, man. The scripture said that the daughters of Zion have sought in their children for meat in that day. Okay, meaning that they ate their own kids due for the lack of food and bread. And if you go into 2 Kings, the 6th chapter, it goes into the famine that besieged Samaria, man. Same thing during the time of Masada, which is 70 AD, when the Romans rolled on Israelites, man. They sealed off the cities and they stopped the supply of food from coming in. Okay, and the people that was left in the city that didn't escape was forced to starve, man. So they resorted to cannibalism. Okay, they was literally eating the sandal and the leather off their sandals, man. Okay, eating the garments, eating each other. Okay, eating wood, whatever it may be. So that's coming back in a big way, man. And hey, when it comes, hey, don't say that you wasn't warned. But anyway, brothers, I'm gonna end it there once again. All praises and glory and honor that's due to Yahweh Shem Yahushai. And with that, shalom and a ball.